How's it going, everyone? My name is Bertimus, and welcome back to Tabs Madness. We are trying to find who is going to be the #1 unit in all of Tabs. Proceeding with our next bracket, the Medieval Faction. Who is going to be the top of the Medieval Faction in this bracket and take it on to the finals? Our first matchup in the Medieval bracket starts us off with our #4 seed, the Archer, coming in at a whopping 140 points, versus our #5 seed, the Squire, coming in at just 100 points. Range versus Brawn. Who will win in a matchup against Archer versus Squire? Will the Archer be accurate enough? Answer is yes. Very much yes. Archer moves on to the next round. Our next matchup has our #3 seed, the Knight, at 650 points, versus our #6 seed, the Bard, coming in at only 60 points. Who's gonna win? Now, I'm not entirely sure about this particular matchup. The Knight has the points advantage and quite possibly the strength advantage, but if the Bard can get him to do literally anything aside from kick his butt, that would have been great, but he didn't. So the Knight moves on to the next round of matches. Our next matchup is the winner of the first match, the Archer, versus our #1 seed for the Medieval bracket, the King, coming in at 1,500 points. That is a tremendous amount. Will the Archer be able to stop the King in time to take it on to the finals? All right, our opponents are approaching each other. The King is getting within Archer range at this moment. The Archer has fired his first arrow. It is stuck into the King, and the King just keeps on moving. Now, the Archer has launched 2 arrows, but is not able to reload fast enough to take down the King. The King moves on to our final matchup. Our fourth matchup in this bracket has our winner of the second match, the Knight, versus the #2 seed in the Medieval bracket, the Catapult, coming in at 1,000 points. Will the range be accurate enough to take down the Knight? Let us find out right now. The first volley is out. The Knight deflects it off of his shield. Will the Catapult be able to reload fast enough to get another shot off on the Knight? The answer is yes, but only barely. We saw at the last moments there, the Knight jump in and begin to start taking down the Catapult, but it was not fast enough. Catapult moves on to the finals. We now have the winner of our third matchup, the King, versus the winner of our fourth matchup, the Catapult. Which one is going to be biggest and baddest enough to win it for the Medieval Faction 1v1 championship in Tabs Madness? Who is going to take home the glory? The King has now taken 2 catapult shots and takes it out. You take down the structural integrity of the catapult, you can't win it. There we have it, the final bracket matchups for the Medieval Faction. King moving on. But what about the Ancient Faction? Moving on to our next faction bracket, we have the Ancient Faction. Now, who is going to reign supreme and move on to the final set of matchups within the Ancient Faction? Our first matchup in the Ancient Faction happens to be our #4 seed, the Snake Archer, coming in at 300 points, versus our #5 seed, the Hoplite, coming in at only 150 points. That is half the cost. Let's see how he does. Now again, we have another matchup of range versus brawn, but the range being a little different this time. It is actually a whole nother unit that is potential to just keep striking over and over again, but as you can see, the snake falls through the cracks and falls down. Now this gives time for the Hoplite to close ranks and try and get close enough to the Snake Archer in order to do some damage. Now that second snake is doing a little bit of damage, but if the Hoplite can get up, yes! The Hoplite takes the victory at half the cost. He's still able to close with that shield. Our second matchup for this bracket has our #2 seed, the Minotaur, at 1,600 points, versus our #7 seed, the Shield Bearer, coming in at only 100 points. Will that shield be enough to fend off the Minotaur for long enough to do some damage. Alright, our matchups are meeting each other on our battlefield, our 1v1 specialized custom battlefield, as the Minotaur charges in and pushes the hoplite off the map. That is ridiculous and shouldn't be able to happen, but you saw it here. The Minotaur takes it on to the next round of matchups.
Our third matchup in this bracket is our number 3 seed, the Ballista, coming in at 950 points.
Our number 6 seed, the Sarisasis, coming in at 120 points. Now, I better see some fancy footwork from our Sarisasis. Otherwise, this Ballista is going to take him out in a single shot. And that's exactly what happened. The Ballista moves on to the next round of matchups. Our fourth matchup in the ancient bracket starts us off with our winner from the first match, the Hoplite, a surprising upset, versus our number 1 seed in this bracket, Zeus the Almighty, coming in at 2,000 big points. Who's gonna win this one? Will the Hoplite be able to shake things up again, or is Zeus's lightning just gonna strike him down with his anger? All right, here we go. Now, I know Zeus's range is going to be pretty strong here. So, if the Hoplite can survive even 1 or 2 lightning bolts, he may be able to get close enough to start doing some damage. He has survived 2 of them. He needs to get up. No, the third one came in too quickly, swept him off his feet, and snatched victory right from him. Zeus moves on to the finals. Our next matchup is the winner of our second match, the Minotaur, versus the winner of our third matchup, the Ballista. Will the Ballista be strong enough to stop the Minotaur before he can charge in? Now, the Minotaur is going to have to take at least 1 round from the Ballista. And if he can survive that, I think he may have it, but he doesn't. The Ballista gets him, and it only takes the 1 shot to take him out. In a stunning upset, the Ballista moves on to the final against Zeus. In a final matchup of God versus man-made machine, who will wind up taking victory? Oh no! I don't know if anyone saw this coming, but the Ballista has just taken victory from the god Zeus. The Ballista moves on to the finals. There you have it, our final matchups for the Ancient Faction bracket. Surprising, Ballista takes it home for the gold. Now, we'll be able to keep up that momentum when we get to the finals. Make sure to tune in next time to Tabs Madness, where we see who's going to be the top dog in both the Viking and the Dynasty factions.